Hello, I'm Evanes. I write 1920s cozy mysteries and I love writing with friends. And today I am joined by two of my lovely writing friends, AJ and Joe. We're going to do a couple of writing sprints and we've got a really interesting topic to talk about as well, which we'll get to in a moment. But first, I'll get AJ and Joe to introduce themselves. Over to you, AJ.
Hi, I'm AJ Blythe and I write mysteries set in Australia between Canberra and the Bunya Mountains is the current manuscript. And you, Joe.
Oh, thanks, AJ. Um, my name's Jo McAllister, and I write dark romance with humour. And I'm excited for today.
Yes, yes. I think we're all at the tail end. We've all got a deadline in
Me
August,
too.
which is only a few weeks away that we are sprinting towards, including some sprints today and some in real life that we have planned over the weekend. AJ and I caught up with some of our other writing friends on Wednesday, and it really feels like we're all got our heads down and making some really good progress on our manuscripts. So that is very encouraging. What are you going to work on today, AJ?
So today I'm just going to be keeping on trying to get new words. I've got a couple of little red herrings to go back and, add into what I've got done. But yeah, otherwise I'm just really trying to get those words down. What about you, Joe?
Well, thanks, AJ. I'm just cracking on with my manuscript, just trying to add words to a new scene. So yeah, thanks very much, Ness.
Yeah, and I'm just going to be rewriting the ending to my novel. I'm nearly finished my book three in my
So
Lady
good.
Marigold series, but I just sort of got
Yeah.
to the end and thought, oh, this could be a little bit more exciting. And then had a couple of ideas. So I'm rewriting the ending, and I'm hoping to have that done by the weekend. So looking forward to pushing forward with that starting in a moment. But what we're going to do after the first sprint is we're going to talk about our question of the day. But I thought what we might do is flag the question now as a teaser. So don't say why, but maybe you can say who, AJ, starting with you.
Yeah.
What authors would you invite for dinner? One dead, one alive.
Okay, so I think my dead author would be Dick Francis.
Ooh, interesting choice.
And I think, and this is the hard one, the alive one, because there's quite a few really good authors that I'm reading at the moment, but I think it would probably be Harlan Coben.
Okay, yes.
Mm,
I would
mm.
like to have dinner with him too.
Yeah.
All right, looking forward to hearing why they are your choices. What about you, Joe?
Um, so for the dead author, I'd say Cormac McCarthy, and for the alive author, Nora Roberts.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, I would love to
Yes.
have dinner with her.
Yeah,
That would
that
be
would be a very
fascinating.
good choice. Yeah.
Okay, well, mine, alive, it's a bit of a toss-up. There were so many, it was very
I
difficult
know.
to choose, but I think it would be a toss-up between Brandon Sanderson
Mhm.
and Richard Osmond.
Yeah, good
And I'm
choice.
Yeah,
sort of leaning with
lovely.
Richard because I
Yeah.
think he's probably he's more my genre, so I could
And he'd
probably
be so
fulfill
much fun.
a few
Yeah.
things. Yeah, I would really love to also to talk to Brandon, but he doesn't write in the same genre as me, so I'll go with Richard. And my dead author is Laura Ingalls Wilder. And
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been watching the new series and just made me think about her. And yeah, I think she would be fascinating to talk to. So we will do our sprint and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about why we would like to
Yeah.
have dinner with those authors.
Lovely.
All
Okay.
right, are we ready to sprint?
Sounds good.
Let me bring
Yep.
up Focus. It's been a few weeks. I don't know if I remember how to do it. I think it's gonna work. Yes,
Beautiful.
lovely.
Wonderful.
All right, see you in 15 minutes.
Good
Good luck.
luck.
As ever, time definitely flew. Couldn't believe it when I looked up and saw that it was nearly 15 minutes done.
Wow, yeah, that really went fast.
How did you go?
Yeah, okay. I've realized in a couple of places where I've really just got really into the writing, I've flipped between first person and third person
Oh
because I'm
no.
so used to writing in third person. I'm trying first person for my very first time. So it's like, oh, okay, note to self when I'm editing to make sure I pick up
That'll
that
be a
change.
great topic, actually. We should talk about that maybe next week
Yeah,
about first person versus third person.
yeah, yeah. No, that sounds good. I don't think Joe's back yet, so oh, there she is.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. It's just having a anyway technical issue. Um, yeah.
How'd you go?
Um, yes, I only made a few words, just 100. I something came up that I was like, oh, I have to have a think about this scene now. Like it's a bit more complicated than I thought it was going to be. So, like I just sort of had to dip out and check some things online and have a think about it. And anyway,
Yeah, it's hard when it sort of takes you out of the story like that and you can't
Mm.
get back to it until you've got it
Yeah.
resolved.
yeah, yeah,
What about you, Ness? How'd you
yeah.
go?
Yeah, I did good. I got 390 words, so pretty happy with that.
That's good.
It's a bit of an action scene, so
Nice.
it was flowing quite well. So looking forward to getting back to that in the second sprint.
Excellent. Yeah.
All right, let's go back to our dinner party authors.
We should all do it together. That would be an amazing dinner party.
I know, right? That would
Yeah,
be
that's right.
that would be great. That would be so much fun. It was so hard to choose. There were so many people that we could have
Yeah, I
put.
think I'd have to actually throw a party. It couldn't just be a dinner party. We'd have to like do a Barbie or something and,
Absolutely,
you
Yeah,
know,
that's right.
absolutely.
have everyone I'd like to see and speak to.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so why did you choose your authors, AJ?
So I chose Dick Francis because um, I guess I see. I mean, he obviously had an incredibly successful career, but he started his day job was as a jockey to the Queen Mother. So that's what
Mm.
he did. And then when he finished with his jockey career, he became a journalist and an author. So he wasn't somebody who, I'd love to know, did he start writing? Had he been wanting to write since he was young? What made him decide to write that first book? How much influence did becoming a journalist have? And if you've ever read his books, every book has horse racing
Yes.
in it, but not necessarily horse racing per se. It could have been the wine merchant who supplied wine to a horse event, or it could have been, a bookie, or it could have been a trainer. So um, there was always it was just like it touched on, it was like it had that theme in there of horses somewhere, but it wasn't the only thing that he wrote about. And he wrote such good, enthralling mysteries, and none of them were from the perspective of a police officer, but they weren't cozies. So I just think I would just love to talk to him about his career, and not just that, but he was a jockey to the Queen Mother. I'm sure he has
Yeah.
amazing stories that he could tell.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I mean, I grew up with lots of Dick Francis books in the house. My dad was obsessed with horse racing. He worked for a bookie,
mm,
sort of as a side gig, and I think people used to give them to him, probably thinking that he would like to read them. He actually didn't like reading, and I don't really ever recall reading any, and maybe they probably weren't suitable for a child anyway. But I just remember them being in the house.
Yeah, I started on them quite young, probably younger than most do, because my mum loved them, and I actually have no interest in horse racing whatsoever. But that you don't need to have an interest in
No.
horse racing at all to read those books. Yeah, so it's the mystery, and his writing was very good. So
Yeah,
so
that's such
that
a great choice. I love that one.
yeah, and then Harlan Coben, I think because I just love to get into his head about how he keeps the page turning. So when I read
Yeah,
most of the Coben books that I love, you start on page one and it just grips you. And then it's just you're just turning until you get to the end and you're like, wow. And I
yeah.
just think that is incredible. Just how he keeps the tension up and just releases it just that tiny bit just to let the reader take a breath. So you're not tense the whole way through, but he
Mm.
just keeps pushing it so well. I just think that's an incredible skill. And I would love to, pick his brains about how he manages to do that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, that was great. What about you, Joe?
Um, yeah, so for me, the author who's passed away would be Cormac McCarthy. So my favourite book of his, so he wrote, of course, No Country for Old Men, but
Mm.
my most favourite book of his is The Road. Like I love that book just as like I feel like it's you know, really shows what parents will do for their children when they've got like no options and the world is you know, apocalyptic and gone to hell. And so I love that book so much. But I would love to just talk to him about what, because I know that he came to you know, publishing novels like quite late. So I would just love to talk to him about what made him decide to then, you know, start writing and publishing like at that, you know, that late, and the fact that after he won the Pulitzer Prize for The Road, like how you keep going after that, you know, so some particular item that's gotten such great acclaim, and how do you keep moving forward after that and still put out an amazing product. So yeah, and also if either of you have ever read The Road, it's got a very unusual style in that he just was like, quotation marks, no thank you, I will not, I will have the dialogue
Oh,
but no quotation marks. So when you start to read it, you're like, what's happening in the beginning? But I mean, you do get used to it. But I know, like, for my husband, he didn't like that about it from the beginning. He was like, nope, I don't want to step outside. I don't want to have something that is so different technically that I just can't concentrate on what's actually happening. So
right. Yeah.
anyway. Yeah, and Nora Roberts, um, once again, like, I mean, of course, she's amazing. She's so prolific. And I love that, you know, she's sort of got two careers, really. So all of her J.D. Robb novels, and then all of her other sort of standalone or serial novels that she's gotten, and just how she balances that, you know, just if she does have an idea, an extra idea for like a J.D. Robb novel, if she just goes, no, I've just got to put that away because I definitely have to, you know, how, if she's in control of the way that all these books sort of come out, and that she could go, no, actually, I think I want to do 3 J.D. Robbs this year, or, you know, rather than do one that's contemporary. Anyway, I'd be interested to know that. And also, she's been through a lot in her writing career, and how does she sort of pick up and keep going? So, I mean, we're probably all aware that she was plagiarized by Janet Daly. This is in the 90s, I think, and it was a massive, massive scandal. That, you know, I mean, Janet Daly was a very well-known author in her own right, writing romances, and just for whatever reason, she took a complete book of Nora Roberts and just basically changed the names of the characters and pretty much kept everything else the same. And but of course, one of Nora Roberts' fans read both books and was like, hang on, what? Why is this? Alerted Roberts, and then, of course, lawsuits ensued. But
Oh, it was proven,
and
was it, in the
yeah,
courts?
yeah, in court, that's right. Yeah.
Wow.
So and anyway, and besides that, there was this massive social media pile on her. This is a few years ago now, regarding a debut author who her book came out and it had the same title as Nora Roberts'
I remember that.
latest book. Yeah, and she just like stirred up all of her social media followers to give all this hate towards Nora Roberts, about the fact that the title was the same, as if you can copyright a title, which you can't.
No.
So she obviously had no conception of that. She obviously didn't discuss it with her agent or her publisher, anything like that. And then just, didn't even take the remarks down after all this had sort of gone down. So, you know, how does she keep moving forward after things that happen, that if they're negative, but she has had this massive career, she could just sit back and do nothing, but how does she keep going, and how does she keep being so prolific in the face of all of that? So
Yeah, I would love to take her to the Lifeline Book Fair and show her all the the rows and rows of the Nora
They
Roberts
have
section.
they have a table, like a section. They have assigned
yes,
just Nora Roberts, so she has her own couple of tables
Yeah,
just for
she
her book.
does.
yeah, it's
She
incredible.
does.
It's really
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh dear.
Amazing. And
Yes.
what about you, Ness?
So
Yeah.
yeah, so I think with great difficulty I had decided on Richard Osman because I think he would be extremely entertaining person to
Mm.
have a chat to about
Yes.
just about everything, not just writing, but books, entertainment. I'm a big fan of the Rest is Entertainment podcasts that he does with Marina Hyde. And, I think he would be fascinating to talk to, just in terms of his career that he's had and also his process for writing his books because he writes from so many different points of view. I would really love to know how he does that and how he pulls everything together. And also how prolific he also is. He might only be producing one book a year, but he's got so much else going on. How does he fit it all in? How does he make it all happen? I would love to know that. And I would also like to know all the juicy celebrity secrets that he knows that he can't say on the podcast. I'm sure he would share them with me. So that's my pick for my alive author, and I think it's interesting with the dead authors that we all have picked somebody who actually had quite a late start to their author career because it was the same with Laura Ingalls
Yeah.
Wilder. She wasn't actually published, I don't think, until she was in her 60s.
Yeah.
So, the majority of the popularity of her books happened when she was in her 70s. So that would just be fascinating to hear her perspective on what that was like after having such an adventurous life
Yeah.
and then writing about it.
Yeah.
What was it like then to see it playing out that way and to
Mm.
know that you were leaving that kind of legacy? That must have been just amazing. So I would love to talk to her more about that. And also just to thank her for so many wonderful childhood memories reading, particularly that her first book, Little House in the Big Woods, was just, it really was an escape for me. I really felt that book did take me to the woods in Wisconsin when I was a child. And, I just really love that. Probably one of my all-time favorite children's books.
Yeah. I love those books as well. So I completely understand why you picked her. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get back to our own books. Let's do our second sprint, and
Sounds
then we'll come back and do a quick wrap up before we finish up for today.
lovely.
Thanks.
Okay, see you in 15. All right, that's it for another writing sprint. Progress reports.
Oh, good. I had one of those like, something that hits you and you get really excited about. And then, yeah, I was like deeply in that when you went time was up and it was not.
Oh,
So I've no idea how much I got written, but like really excited about the
Oh,
thing I
that's
just
so
got.
good. Excellent.
wonderful.
That's the best feeling.
It is. It's great. How about yourself?
I did a lot of deleting, so I don't think I increased the word count this time around, but it needed to be done so I know how to go in the new direction. So yes, I think my sum total of the day is probably around 400 words.
Excellent. That's really good.
What
Good.
about you, Joe?
Um, yes, something similar. So altogether, sum total was 440 because I really got on it with that last sprint. I had a way forward and I could just sort of keep pushing, just let it come out the fingers. So yeah, it's all worked out well.
Excellent. Well, thank
Really
you very
good.
much for sprinting with me today. That's been awesome. I loved our chat about authors dead and alive. We might have to do that again, maybe with a different theme when we have our fourth member back next week, Gemma. So we'll see how things go. Maybe we won't do the same question next week, but we'll do it again in the future so that we can hear about her author guests, dead and
Well,
alive.
that'd be
And
good because then I can bring in some of the other people I had to reject.
exactly.
Right.
100%. Yes, I totally agree. There's definitely more than these two that I want to talk about. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was great fun. Let's do that again in the future. But if in the words of Gemma, because she's always so good at asking our audience to leave a comment on who they would invite to dinner, dead or alive, I will put the call out there, please. If you would like to share, we would love to see who you would invite as well. And looking forward to catching up with you next week for our next writing sprints.
Lovely.
Thanks very much.
See you
See you later.
later.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.